morning. You are listening to the Coach's Corner on KYNT. Let's go to the voice of the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles, Bryce Ladwig.
Hey, good morning, 1019 Broadway Avenue. I'm Bryce Ladwig. This is the Coach's Corner. One of my first live shows doing this for like a month, it feels like. Always produce a show, but usually I have games on Saturday, and I'm just not in the studio for those games because I'm at a courtside somewhere. But glad to be in the studio, and I am being joined
SWAT
by
Chiropractic and Rehab in Yankton has a new...
Well, as the ads start playing. Braden, I'm not off to a good start here this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Bryce. It's great to... as I fall into my chair, basically. It's great to be able to get a chance to join you. I know you're talking about, we've had a couple Saturday games recently. We had a trip out to Rapid City not too long ago. Been there almost every step of the way with you. Health got in the way for a weekend, but it's been an interesting ride so far. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, thanks for joining us this morning. A couple of big victories for Yankton basketball squads last night. Yankton Gazelles defeated the Douglas Patriots 59-36 to secure their second win of the season. And then the Bucks defeated Douglas in that final, if I remember, 74-60 in that game as well. So a couple of big victories for Yankton at the Summit Activity Center. It was a great night, and we'll jump into those conversations with those coaches. I'm using their post-game interviews from last night for the show this morning. Let the coaches sleep, right, Braden? So
at least somebody can.
Yeah, so there you go. And we'll talk to them. We'll start with the Gazelles when we come back from our first break here on the Coach's Corner. Good morning.
When I'm searching for self-expression, I find it on stage. Acting inspires me to be bold in my approach and get lost in my work. It teaches me to welcome new perspectives and create meaning through storytelling. Acting allows me to show my spirit at Mount Marty University. How do you show your imaginative side? Schedule your campus visit to Mount Marty University at showyourspiritmmu.com.
It's time for a new kind of credit card. One that's with you where you are, wherever life leads. The Evergreen Credit Card by FNBO earns you unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase, every day, every step of the way. For important information and limitations regarding the rewards program, visit fnbo.com/evergreen for complete details. From the great big small bank, ever ready for you to earn more so you can do more. Only with Evergreen by FNBO. Learn more today at fnbo.com/evergreen.
SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab in Yankton has a newer research-based mindset when it comes to treating musculoskeletal aches and pains. We take the time to figure out where the pain is coming from and educate our patients on what they can do to improve their functional range of motion. We administer a range of treatments and preventative approaches that are customized to each individual patient and their health goals. Visit us on our website at swatchiropracticandrehab.com. When you need to feel better, visit SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab out by the lake on West Highway 52.
Hello, here's to welcoming moments, big and small, embracing the unexpected, savoring life. At Avera, our nationally recognized health system will be right here with you, ready for anything. We listen to your goals and help you achieve them with care and coverage. We'll move you forward through sickness and health and every milestone in between. Avera, moving health forward. Learn more at avera.org/forward.
Are you looking for a new opportunity? Check out Truxedo in Yankton, South Dakota. Truxedo has an opening in their safety department. We're looking for a motivated and positive candidate to join our team and fill the role of a senior EH&S specialist. This role will recommend changes to protect workers and educate employees using safety training programs and tools to prevent accidents. This is an opportunity you won't want to miss. Visit truxedo.com/careers to learn more about this position and to apply.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig. Again, Yankton Gazelles successful last night versus the Douglas Patriots, securing their second victory on the season and defeating Douglas 59-36. The stats of the game, your lead scorers, Macy Drotzman ended the night with 19 points. Claire Tereshitsky had 18. Bailey LaCroix added 7. And Jocelyn Elwood added 6 points. Eden Wolfgram with 5. And Emma Herbold with 3. Emma Herbold has made some big plays, Braden, this season. And I talked to Coach Creer 2 games in a row about her. And, is she putting up giant numbers in the stat box? No, but she's just doing that thing on the court where the intangibles, right? You can see it, and she's really making a difference for the Gazelles.
Yeah, it's the things that you don't want to be cliche, but life's full of cliches. It's the things that don't show up in the stat sheet. She's getting to her position. She's getting to her spots on defense. She's been setting off ball screens a little bit every now and then. She's been getting open, and 3 points. She hit the shot when she did get opened last night. She's been playing well when she's been able to get on the floor. And something else I noticed too last night, she's been kind of that first player off the bench role. She got a start last night as well. So something where Coach Creer's seeing it, people are starting to see it as well. She's getting it done out there on the court. She's doing what she needs to do.
Peyton Mosier added a point. I just want to leave her as the only one that I didn't mention in scoring. In the sub-varsity action, Douglas won that C/JV game 43-22. Nora Kraske led the team with 8 points. I did catch up with Coach Trey Creer briefly during halftime of the Yankton Bucks matchup. That's when we do our post-game coach interview. I'll go ahead and just play that conversation again. This is a quick post-game halftime of the Yankton Bucks game, catching up with Coach Trey Creer of the Yankton Gazelles.
Coach, congratulations. Big victory for the Yankton Gazelles tonight. How'd the girls feel immediately following that buzzer and then in the locker room? How'd they feel?
It was exciting for us. We have had a long road here, getting to the point where we're at in the season right now. We hadn't felt like we've played our best basketball. After our best performance of the year at Stevens, we kind of felt like we had a little bit of a letdown for 3 games, and defensively in particular. We did a great job tonight of forcing a little bit of tempo, forcing a little bit of intensity on the defensive end. We picked them up in full court for a little bit to start the game to just get ourselves going, and our kids did a great job of responding to that.
Your 2 top scorers tonight, Claire Tereshinsky, 16, Macy Drossman, 19. That's just what you want from them, right? Not just in the leadership roles, but also just being aggressive offensively.
Yeah, and we did a good job of finding Macy on the inside, and Claire, paced us in the second quarter while Macy was out with foul trouble, and we had other kids who stepped up to play hard for us as well. Emma Herbold has done a great job for us in the last couple of weeks of just doing the little things, rebounding and getting after loose balls. Jocelyn Elwood hits a couple threes for us tonight. Eden Wolfgram did a good job of finding her opportunities, getting to the free throw line. Bailey's knocked down some shots for us. We need to keep this bottled up a little bit and move it into next week. We got a great opportunity, couple opportunities coming up as we end out the regular season.
You mentioned Elwood and then also Wolfgram. Obviously, they're going to have plenty of career to get there, but isn't it nice seeing them hit some shots, maybe gain a little confidence offensively?
Yeah, and that all starts with the defensive end. Those two can guard, and proud of the things that they've done on the offensive end, but very excited about the things that they've done defensively to really force some tempo to us as well.
I'll look at the scores for the show tomorrow morning, so I don't expect you to have those or stats. But from what you saw with sub-varsity, how'd you feel about that tonight?
Yeah, we had a 1 JV game tonight. We struggled to score a little bit in that game at times, but we had kids who came out and played, and they weathered a little bit of a storm at the beginning of that game. Got themselves back to within about a 12-point game, and just weren't able to continue the run. So our JV group has done a great job of consistently working to get better, and that's what we need to do, top down in our program.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the big victory. We'll talk Monday about Sioux Falls, Washington. Enjoy the victory here tonight.
You bet. Thank you.
That was my post-game coach interview with Coach Trey Creer of the Yankton Gazelles, and the Gazelles travel to host Sioux Falls, Washington on Tuesday at the Summit Activities Center. Sioux Falls, Washington, one of the best teams in the state. It will be a tough road to climb for Yankton, but they have this momentum versus Douglas heading into that matchup. Again, Summit Activities Center Tuesday night. Sioux Falls, Washington, taking on the Yankton Gazelles. We'll take a break. We'll come back and start talking Yankton Bucks basketball. Also happened last night, and we'll talk all about it here on the Coach's Corner. Good morning.
Rodents want to make your home their home. Pesky invaders go in search of warm housing and food for the winter. An invasion of rodents can be costly and can contribute to disease and contamination of products. So trust the experts to keep them out. Olson Pest Technicians is family-owned with over 80 years of experience. Even the toughest infestations don't stand a chance. Olson Pest Technicians, putting pests to rest since 1966. Call 800-KIL-BUGS.
Think about how people really see you. The kid at the drive-thru just sees a coffee drinker.
Please pull forward.
Your local barista sees the person who loves a smiley face in their latte.
See you next time.
It's kind of the same way with insurance. Other insurance companies just see a customer, but a State Farm agent sees more. They see you as a neighbor, Your State Farm agent is here to get to know who you really are so they can help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Rhonda Westland at 665-4411 today to learn more.
As a proud community bank, Core Trust delivers more than just checking and savings accounts. We invest in the cities and towns where we live and work by volunteering to coach youth sports teams, supporting local charities and the arts with our time and resources. Whether we live in a rural town in South Dakota or a suburban city in Minnesota, it's a place we call home. Core Trust Bank. Raise your expectations.
Member FDIC.
Do you have dry, sore, or irritated eyes? If so, you may have dry eye. At Vision Care Associates, we offer a simple, fast, and non-surgical procedure to treat black glands in your eyelids that can help your eyes to feel comfortable again. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Fieser to find out about dry eye treatment with our newest technology.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MT&RC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. MTRCSmithInsurance.com.
At Triple Time Rudy's, you get convenient access to quality fuel products. Plus, you'll also find quality South Dakota products like Dimmick cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. With a local-friendly feel and unique product offering, Triple Time Rudy's is your local convenience store that supports schools and events and provides fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers. For all of your daily fill-ups and convenience needs, pull into Triple Time Rudy's at 17th and Broadway.
And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig alongside Braden Butler here this morning. Yankton also victorious last night, just like the Gazelles. The Bucks cruised to a 74-60 victory. And Braden, wasn't their best play or most well-played game? Coach Chris Haynes was the first one to say that, but they got the victory, and it's another Class A victory for the Bucks. Now 13-4 on the season, and with the tired legs that they had to have gone into that matchup with. You know, you could say no excuses all you want. I'm talking about Coach Chris Haynes, but this team is tired.
It's you look at their schedule congestion in the last week. You had a trip out to Rapid City, which is not exactly around the block from where you're going last week, about 6 hours out that way. You have a couple of games there back to back. You come back this week, you play Tuesday night against a very good Sioux Falls Christian team. You play Thursday night against a very good T team. You play Friday night against a Douglas squad that played very hard against the Bucks last night. So the congestion and the grind of this last week, you could tell they were tired. And even with tired legs, even not firing on all cylinders, at times playing maybe a little more sloppy than they'd like to, for sure, they still went out and put up 74 points. A lot of that off of Drew Reichen, who had another great night, but he still got your offense rolling, and even with the mistakes, you were able to put up a good game and win by double digits.
And there was a Buck that had a pretty good performance last night, Drew Reichen.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So Drew Reichen, for those that may not know, over the last 48 hours now would be the case, yes. Over the last 48 hours, Drew Reichen surpassed Tate Pasieka, former Yankton great, multi-sport athlete, but in basketball, former Yankton basketball great, who previously held the three-point single-season record for Yankton with 62 three-pointers in 2005. And Drew Reichen up at T Area High School hit his 63rd and took that record and is now number one on that record book. And then not even 24 hours later, Drew Reichen goes to the Summit Activities Center last night, puts up 9 3-pointers in that single game, tying Tate Pasieka, who set that same record in 2005. And you'll hear me ask Coach Chris Haynes in our post-game interview about it, Braden, but I said, does Drew Reichen have a problem with Tate Pasieka, like on a personal level? Is he coming after him?
I know we we kind of talked about it in jest after the game. Is like, man, Drew Reichen's just trying to erase Tate Paseka from the history books, it seems like, with all these 3-pointers, man, which obviously that's not a shot at Drew Reichen. I know he's not out there actively trying to erase the memory of another human being, but he's out there, he's putting his name in the record book, and he's doing a very good job on it. He's been fun to watch all season, but specifically in these last couple games, he's averaging about 6, 7, maybe 8 3-pointers made over his last 5 games. It's been a ridiculous output from Drew Reichen, and he's been a driving factor for this Yankton offense.
And to Tate Paseka's credit, again, we'll hear Coach Chris Haynes say the same thing, but I've been told that he has reached out and has congratulated Drew Reichen, and Tate Paseka is held in very high regard in the Yankton community, as he should be. And, of course, he wouldn't be upset about it. If anything, he's probably happier for Drew than Drew is himself, about this whole thing. And it's just really nice to see. And it really couldn't be happening to a better guy. Drew Reichen, just a great person, great athlete. Is a great person, and that entire senior class, Brayton, or the Yankton Bucks, is just full of just upstanding humans. And I'm looking forward to seeing what all of them do as they move forward in their careers. This is my post-game coach interview with Coach Chris Haynes. Actually, before I should get into that, I should go over some point totals. Drew Reichen does end the night with 33 points. Helps when you have 9 3-pointers. And then the next 2 scores, Michael Moores added 11 points, and Mac Reichen registered 10 on the night. And also talking that post-game coach interview about Isaiah Skelhaus, kind of the Emma Herbold of the Bucks last night. Not a lot of huge numbers put up, but just a lot of plays that kind of stand out in your mind of like, well, that was a good hustle play. We'll talk all about that. This is my post-game coach interview with Coach Chris Haynes last night.
Coach, first thing I asked you off mic, but I'll ask you again. Does Drew Reichen have a problem with Tate Paseka?
No, not at all. I think he likes Tate. And, Tate reached out today and just wanted to congratulate Drew for the accomplishment of breaking his records. Records are meant to be broken. And Tate was a special player here, one of the best in program history. And, so it was nice of Tate to reach out. And we wish him well, him and his family down in Arizona. And, Drew just tied this record, so yep. Tate's still in the record book.
But it seems like we just talked about this in some regard, but it was just last night. This is a weird thing. Have you ever, you've been coaching a long time, Coach, have records or anything like that happen back-to-back nights or games even?
That's a good one, Bryce. I don't know. Not that I can think of off the top of my head. But it is special. And, and obviously Drew breaking the single season. And then back, yesterday was 6, and now with 9 tonight, and we needed him. Douglas kind of played that either sagging kind of man-to-man. There's no doubt that they were trying to limit our penetration and trying to keep the ball out of the paint, and then play in that zone. And obviously Drew shot the ball extremely well. But I thought our guys did a good job of finding him in transition, of setting screens for him, pin screens, whether it was against that man or against that zone. And Drew knocked enough down for us to get the win tonight.
And now Drew, Mac, Rugby, all the seniors, Skelhaus, all of them. You were talking a little off mic too, Michael Moores. Is this one of the best just senior groups you ever had? I'm not talking just talent, Coach. I'm talking just as people. They just all seem like genuine guys.
They are. Great group, a special group. And, we've known that. Since they first started coming to campus, first graders, and growing up through the program and through school and just in the community, and watching them play football and watching them run track and play baseball and all that stuff. And the thing, and you talk to every coach, Coach Muth, Coach Lawrence, whoever it is, you talk to them, and they say the same thing about their group. They just have great attitudes. They're so fun in practice, whether they just came off a tough loss or a big win. They come back the next day in practice, and they have great attitudes, and they have fun at practice. They like to compete, and they're just a go-lucky, fun group of guys.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about the game, Coach. Obviously, with Drew with the scoring, went over that, but also some good contributions down low. Cody Oswald had a good night in the paint, especially on the defensive end. Michael Morris had a really solid performance on both offensive and defensive sides.
Yeah, Cody and Mikey were good again, and then our bench was good. So we got some more production off the bench. Isaiah and Landon really did good, and even Cooper gave us some good minutes there. Which this time of year you need. Again, we got 3 more games next week, and you never know what's going to happen in that Sodak 16 game, and everybody's got to be ready, and you want to be firing on all cylinders this time of year. And so, feel like our guys off the bench are doing that a little. We've been so good defensively as of late, the last 2 games, not where we would like it to be. And so, we got to shore that up on the defensive end and on the defensive glass. But I think, too, Bryce, is give Douglas some credit. That's a team that has won their last 3 games, and they're playing with a lot of confidence right now. They've scored their last 3 games they're averaging over 70 points a game in those 3 games. And as we saw tonight, they got some guys that can put the ball in the basket and can do some things. And I thought they played well tonight and made some shots. And but credit to our guys too, because I think it was a week ago at this time we're probably just tipping it up in Rapid City Stevens, last Friday night. So to think we went all the way across the state and back, that's 2 games, and then play a really good Sioux Falls Christian team here, one of the best teams, all-around teams in the state. Go at T, another really good team, and then finish off the week with another win here is a pretty special week and not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, and your answers keep branching off more questions. I apologize. We're also using this for the coaches show, though, so
sure.
You know what you're getting into.
Yep.
You're talking about Skelhaas, and I do want to emphasize more on his performance because you made a good point about that. Earlier in the season, Coach, we always talk about the bench depth and things, and you mentioned how you just wanted him to have a couple games where he gets more confidence, just maybe starts to be a little bit more aggressive on the floor. And we are seeing that the last few games for him.
Yeah, because Isaiah's a good player, and he can really shoot it, and he can do things offensively. And with his length, he can guard, and he can get rebounds and deflections. And he's starting to get more comfortable out there, and which is really nice to see, and his confidence is growing. And he's starting to play on game nights like we see him every day in practice, which is so good. I'm happy for him. I want his confidence to continue to grow. And if he can keep playing like he is and his confidence keeps growing, he's going to give us another dimension that we really need and will be great for our team overall.
Some AA basketball talk, Coach. Jefferson squeaked by Lincoln tonight. That was at Lincoln, so a lot of people had their eyes on that game as well. We always talk about it. It seems like it's something that we just talk about when we have nothing else to talk about, but it really is true. AA, it's anyone's ball game. There is no easy matchup, right?
No.
For any of the top 8.
No, there's not. I mean, you look at like Douglas is maybe outside looking in, or I don't even know where they're at.
They're just on the outside.
Yeah, just on the outside. And, obviously we saw tonight, if Drew has an off shooting night, they might beat us. And so they're more than capable. You look at Aberdeen Central's down there, and we've seen the big wins that they've had.
Watertown just beat Aberdeen.
Yeah, Watertown is more than capable. They have shooters and have, I think they knocked off Washington or somebody earlier in the year. So it's night in, night out. We're going to see next weekend when Spearfish and Sturgis come here, they have some kids that can do things and some good players as well. So there's never an easy night, and so you have to understand that, and our guys need to realize that. Again, that's why I'm going back to the defensive part. We won the last 2 nights, but you just don't feel as solid about it because we weren't solid on the defensive end, and you can't rely on just outscoring teams. It's great that we won the last 2 games, and you want to do that. You want to, at the end, but we got to make sure that we solidify ourselves on the defensive end, and there's not a lot of practice time to do it.
Yeah.
Next week we can't with 3 games, so hopefully our guys can learn from that, and we can learn from a little video and some walkthroughs and short practice time, and have a good week next week, and then really have some good practices going into the Sodak 16 game.
I'm down to my last 2, Coach, promise.
That'll be good.
I'm not going to scramble for the scores, but I do have them. I'll talk about them on my show live tomorrow morning. But what did you see from your sub-varsity that you liked tonight?
Yeah, they play. It was kind of the same, though, as the varsity. I just felt at times a little lethargical. And no excuses, right? I mean, you just have to play hard. I didn't think for 32 minutes in both the younger level game and the varsity game, I didn't think we just competed as hard as we have most other games throughout the year for 32 minutes. We did at times, but we didn't have the consistent effort for 32 minutes. And you can't play with fire like that. There's no excuse for that. I don't care how many games you just played or whatever. Every time you walk on the floor, you got to respect the game, you got to respect your opponent, and you got to go out and play hard.
All right, Coach, on Tuesday, another upper echelon opponent, Sioux Falls, Washington on the road. Always a tough place to play.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about that Washington squad? Not that that's actually going to happen.
They're super talented, super talented, and just full of athletes. And they play a similar style to us, I would say, and the fact that they love to get out in transition and they like to turn defense into offense. So we're going to see heavy pressure from them. And they're so athletic that they crash the board so hard. So those will be the main keys of emphasis is, taking care of the basketball, stopping their penetration, keeping them off the glass, stopping them in transition. Those are really hard things to do. And if we can handle the ball pressure and move the basketball, then maybe we'll have a chance to get some open shots.
Well, that was our extra long post-game coaching interview with Coach Chris Haynes. Coach, congratulations. Always appreciate the extra time that you would take, and we'll see you on the road on Tuesday.
You got it, Bryce. Thank you.
That was my post-game coaching interview with Coach Chris Haynes of the Yankton Bucks. What a victory for Yankton. And in that JV game, it was the Bucks winning that contest 53-44. Matthew Sheldon led with 17 points, while Tucker Gilmore and Carson Ness added 12 apiece. Braden, we do see pretty much the latter portion of most of the sub-varsity games. Doubleheaders are a little bit more difficult because they use the auxiliary gym, and you and I are in the main gym. But we have seen that JV squad for the Bucks. And while there's not a lot of height come up in Yankton, there is a lot of talent on that floor.
I've liked what I've seen on the floor from that squad from, obviously you can't run through everybody's name right now, but just a few names off the top of my head who have impressed me. Carson Ness.
Name every player.
You know basketball? Name every basketball player. Couple names that have stuck out to me. Carson Ness, very good ball handler. Easton Nelson has played very well. I've seen Matthew Sheldon really use his maybe not height, but still size. He's a very built kid. He's obviously spends time in the weight room. He throws his weight around down low, and he's able to get to the basket, work his post moves, and he seems to be getting a better touch down there. I've seen Tucker Gilmore make some plays in JV games as well. And there's guys I'm forgetting, and I hope I don't, rub anybody the wrong way by forgetting. But it's a JV team, like you said, maybe lacks some height. I don't think they got many guys over 6'2", 6'3", but it's a team that has played really well when I've watched them, and they've got some bright spots. I think they keep growing because they're a majority sophomore team, a couple juniors sprinkled in there. They got some time left to keep growing, and it could be fun in the next couple of years to see how they step up when this senior class that we've talked about heads out at the end of the year.
And then for one of the 9th grade games, and maybe there was just one, if there was two, I only have results for one, so I apologize. Yankton lost 66-53. Abel Bryan led with 14 points. Carter Boomsma 11, and Owen Eidsness added 10. All right, when we come back, we will either talk Yankton wrestling or Yankton gymnastics. It all depends on if I get a text back from a certain coach in the next few minutes. Which one is next, Braden? But we'll talk to them both. I have a last night when you and I were done with the game, you saw, obviously, I went and caught up with Coach Riley Smith and Coach Tyler Sherry of Yankton Wrestling. They're coming back from the region tournament, so I interviewed them right then and there. And you took our equipment to the vehicle, and I appreciate you doing that. And then
I got locked out of the vehicle because somebody had the keys in their pocket. And when I went try to get back inside to get them, the custodial staff, not going to blame them. They were supposed to lock the doors, had locked the doors, so I couldn't get back in.
I come out there after 20-ish minutes. And you have your hood up, and you would just look miserable, and it was hilarious.
It was only a little cold. Only one person happened to walk by and ask if I was okay. So
didn't your mom ever tell you to wear a coat?
Listen, all right. You know where it was? It was probably in the car. So
well, I'm glad the car was warm. Right? I'm glad your coat kept the car warm.
Funny enough, the car wasn't warm when we got in it.
No, it was not. We'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner. Good morning.
Buying or selling your home is one of the biggest decisions you may make in your lifetime. I'm Deb Speck with Vision Real Estate, and I'm ready to help guide you with professional advice from before the listing until after the close. Not only will you get real estate knowledge, but also we provide moving boxes and an enclosed courtesy trailer to help make the move just a little easier. Call me today at 664-5555.
This winter, sip on a delicious hot cocoa and lose yourself in the grace of a fresh falling snow before you smash that hot mug on the driveway and join First Dakota to bank some noise for winter sports. Stomp for block shots, holler for match ceiling takedowns, and go berserk for a perfect dismount. Let's give the home team all we've got. Bank some noise with us at First Dakota National Bank. Open a new account online today at firstdakota.com, member FDIC.
You feel awful. Stuffy nose, then runny nose, the sniffles too. You don't know what to take to make yourself feel better. This is Michael with Yankton Rexall. When you feel under the weather, you want relief, but there are a lot of over-the-counter choices. Some may even interfere with daily medications you're taking. At Yankton Rexall, our staff is here to help you make the best choice for your health. Yankton Rexall, your hometown pharmacy since 1923, located in the Meridian District.
February is National Cancer Prevention Month. Research shows more than 1/3 of all cancers diagnosed in the U.S. can be attributed to preventable causes like smoking, obesity, physical inactivity, and sun exposure. The Yankton Medical Clinic reminds you the importance of a healthy lifestyle, knowing your family's risks, and receiving regular screenings for cancers such as skin, breast, prostate, cervical, and colon. The wide range of specialists at the Yankton Medical Clinic are here to help you manage your health. Call for an appointment today. So much care, so close to home.
There are a lot of benefits for your small business when you have a relationship with your locally owned and operated The UPS Store. I'm Doug Frederick, manager of the UPS Store of Yankton. Not only do we provide excellent customer service, but we also provide the necessary tools to help your small business thrive. We can help you with everything ing, printing, packing, copying, faxing, freighting, any ing your small business needs, even shredding, notarizing, mailboxing, every ing for your small business, and of course, shipping. The UPS Store of Yankton, across from Walmart.
Have aches and pains taken you out of your game? Then give First Chiropractic Centers a call. We've been helping people get back into their game for over 40 years. Whether your game is sports related, like ice skating, snowmobiling, or simply shoveling snow, household chores, exercising, or daily activities, if your pain is preventing you from enjoying or participating in your chosen activity, we can help. Call First Chiropractic Centers today or visit us at firstchiropracticcenter.com. First Chiropractic Centers, making life better, one adjustment at a time.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig. We talked Yankton Gazelles basketball, Bucks basketball, and now let's turn our attention to Yankton Gazelles gymnastics. The season is over as their state meet was last weekend, a big weekend for Yankton Gazelles gymnastics. And who better to talk about it than head coach Justin Olson joining us on the Pizza Ranch phone line, hopefully, if the technology worked. Coach, you there? He is not, Braden. So 0-1 today.
Hey, man, sometimes technology, when it works, it's great. When it doesn't, it's unfortunate.
All right, we'll try that again here around the corner, and we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll try it one more time. And if not, I have results for you, and we can talk about Gazelles gymnastics the old-fashioned way. That's all coming up at the Coach's Corner.
Old Man Winter is here, and you don't want your car left out in the cold because of a broken garage door. Routine service of your doors and openers could prevent some future problems, but unpredictable problems could put your door out of commission. When unforeseen problems arise, the professionals at Upper Midwest Garage Door are prepared to get your door going again. Call today for routine service or when a problem arises. Find more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com, your authorized low-pay dealer.
Bring the crew to Pete's Ranch in Yankton. This is Annie, and we have legendary pizza and chicken just waiting for you on our buffet. Let us know what you're craving, and we'll make it fresh and bring you the first slice. Or let us deliver right to your front door. Your locally owned Yankton Pizza Ranch on Broadway, 665-1222.
It's where life tastes better. Surround them up and head her down to the Pizza Ranch. Whoa, that's good.
And speaking of Pizza Ranch, joining us on the Pizza Ranch phone line, fingers all crossed. Braden, cross both fingers if this works. Being joined by Coach Justin Olson, Yankton Gazelles Gymnastics. Coach, are you there?
Hey, Bryce, how you doing?
Hey, we did it! You're on.
All right.
Hey, thanks for taking time out. I know you're doing some family time right now, so we won't take too much of your time, but big state meet for 4 of your Yankton Gazelles went up to Aberdeen. And, Coach, obviously, Ava Collar earned a top 10 finish at that meet. She plays 10th on her floor routine. And why don't you talk about her a little bit? Let's kind of do a little quick synopsis of all these girls.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, starting with Ava Collar, she, she's been pretty steady for us all year on the 3 events that she competes. She competed in vault, beam, and floor for us all year, and then she qualified in all 3 of those events for the state individual day. And, yeah, she put together a great floor routine on that Saturday and walked away with a 10th place medal, which, I thought she was one of those top-tier girls, and so she was rewarded for all the hard work that she put in throughout the season. So I'm very proud of her and her accomplishments. Had a little problems on beam, had a little wobble, but other than that, she probably would have placed in the top 10 there as well. But then you go right down to our next highest grade level, and that is Allie Berkland, or actually Mackenzie Steinbrecher, our senior. We want to talk about her a little bit and qualifying on vault and bars, and what a way to cap off your senior season. Bryce, with qualifying at the state individual meet, and so she did well. She didn't medal, but her performances were really good, pretty steady with what she did throughout the season. But she capped off her year, and proud of her, all the hard work that she's put in past 5 years shown through, and so she'll be someone that we'll definitely miss next year in the gym as far as a leader. And then, of course, Allie Berkland. The Berkland sisters were the next 2 that qualified, and Allie Berkland, our sophomore, she qualified on vault and bars and put together some good performances there. Came up just short of a medal placing, but nevertheless got to celebrate her accomplishments and her hard work by being able to compete on that Saturday as well. Then Marissa Berkland, 8th grader, competed on beam, and it's one of those things where we talk about this all the time, her and I in the gym, and it's not her favorite event, but she was asked to hit a big routine for us at the conference meet, and she did, and she was fortunate enough to qualify for the state individual title, and then she just left it all on the line there, and ended up taking a fall in beam, which didn't put her in the medal contention, but really proud of her, especially as a young athlete, to have that experience at a state meet, and hopefully going forward she'll qualify in just more than the beam going forward.
And, Coach, you took home some hardware, over the weekend, coming home with the South Dakota Gymnastics Coach of the Year that was awarded by the South Dakota Gymnastics Judges Association. From us here at KYNT, congratulations. It's a huge deal and very well-deserved, the way that you're just molding these young women into not just gymnastics, but their next stages in life. You're a huge part of their life, and I'm glad that's recognized.
Well, thank you, Bryce. I appreciate it. I couldn't have gotten to where I was and pick up some of those accolades without, the mentors that I've had and the coaches, current and former coaches that, just bounce ideas off of. And, of course, the athletes who make me look good. But they hardworking athletes help anybody. And, of course, last but not least, there's a couple more people obviously to thank is the head coach is only as good as the assistant coaches, and I got a great crew with Suzanne Tessier, Haley Dede, Cody Lucas, and Alex Topol helping out in the gym. So, and then, of course, my family, my wife and my kids, taking the sacrifices of me being gone and putting hours in the gym. So the combination of that all, I appreciate, the judges and the coaches and stuff like that for this honor. And it's one of those things that my philosophy is I get to teach life lessons through coaching gymnastics or whatever sport I am. And if we win along the way, that's great. But thank you for the congratulatory remarks. And we're just pushing forward and trying to make that state meet team next year.
Well, Coach, what's next for you? Now you have track, right? So track and field. So it really doesn't slow down for you yet again.
It doesn't slow down. Yeah, I have about a 2-week break, and then a 2-week break, and then I'm off into the track season. So, I'm gonna soak it up here at the Hanson Haas basketball tournament, watching the kids play here a little bit.
Well, Coach, enjoy that tournament. Enjoy the family time that you are allowed to have. Thank you so much for joining us, not just today, but all season long, taking the time for us.
Yeah, you bet, Bryce. I appreciate you guys covering all the Yankton activities, and that's a special thing. I appreciate it.
That was Coach Justin Olson, Yankton Gazelles Gymnastics, join us on the Pizza Ranch phone line. We'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
Are you new to the Yankton area, or have you lived here your entire life and just bought that house in the corner you've loved since you were a kid? Have an agent that lives, works, and raises their family right alongside you. You may know me. I'm Skylar Sherman with Missouri River Associates in Yankton. Give me a call or even stop me in the store, and let's set up a time and make sure all of your insurance policies are right.
Missouri River Associates, 605-665-6885.
SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab in Yankton has a newer, research-based mindset when it comes to treating musculoskeletal aches and pains. We take the time to figure out where the pain is coming from and educate our patients on what they can do to improve their functional range of motion. We administer a range of treatments and preventative approaches that are customized to each individual patient and their health goals. Visit us on our website at swatchiropracticandrehab.com. When you need to feel better, visit SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab out by the lake on West Highway 52.
Old Man Winter is here, and you don't want your car left out in the cold because of a broken garage door. Routine service of your doors and openers could prevent some future problems, but unpredictable problems could put your door out of commission. When unforeseen problems arise, the professionals at Upper Midwest Garage Door are prepared to get your door going again. Call today for routine service, or when a problem arises. Find more at UpperMidwestGarageDoor.com, your authorized low-pay dealer.
And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Thank you to all the coaches so far for joining us, whether it was post-game interview or joining us on the Pizza Ranch phone line here on the Coach's Corner, brought to you by SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab. And let's talk Yankton wrestling now. We just happened to catch up with Coach Riley Smith and Coach Tyler Schuring as we were leaving the Summit Activity Center last night after basketball. They were coming back from the regional tournament. I was going to have Coach Riley Smith on the phone this morning, but sometimes it's just better to get it personal and just be one-on-one with them and talk about that event. So we'll go ahead and play that interview for you. This is us catching up with Coach Riley Smith and Coach Tyler Schuring of Yankton Wrestling last night. Hey, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig. Let's talk Yankton Bucks Wrestling. Coach Tyler Schuring and head coach Riley Smith join me here for this interview. I'm actually just catching them as they're getting back from the regional tournament up at Brandon Valley. Took 11 wrestlers. Start with Coach Riley Smith. Coach, I guess just open shocking question. How'd it go?
Overall, not bad. Better than last year, that's for sure. It's just... we started off a little flat, kind of had a tough first round, and that happens, sometimes you come out and you just mentally not ready or just a little flat. And so, we had to regroup and we went, took all the wrestlers, went to the locker room and, we had to talk, it's just sometimes when you get to that postseason, it's a funny time of year and, just a lot of things can happen, just anxiety, nervousness, things like that. So we just went in, we talked, we regrouped, and the wrestlers, we got them refocused. And honestly, the next few rounds went a lot better. They came out a lot more energetic, ready to go. And, and so with that, we ended up getting 4 wrestlers punching their ticket to state. And, we were hoping for a couple more, just, unfortunately, that's just not the way it happened this year. And, for those guys that weren't in the top 4, we talked and told them to keep their heads up because honestly, they've had good seasons. They had a good tournament. It just, that's just how it goes sometimes. And I think they really responded well. They bounced back. We got a few 5th placers and, they still have a chance to qualify for state as well as an alternate, going forward.
All right, then, Coach, how does that work with the 5th placers? You say they still have a chance to get to state.
Yeah, so with the 4 regions, there's going to be 4 people in 5th place. And what happens then is they look at out of those 4 5th placers, whoever has the highest criteria then gets to go as an alternate to state. So then that way, if at that weight class someone doesn't, if they're like gets hurt, gets sick, or maybe has skin issues, things like that, and they can't wrestle, then that person gets to substitute into the state tournament.
Awesome. And then why don't you talk a little bit about your top 4?
Yeah. So starting off at 106, Damian Janish, he's wrestling the number 1 seed, got drawn right into the number 1 seed right away. That's tough. And, he battled back, losing
Who is the number 1 seed?
It was Omi from Brandon Valley. So losing a first round match like that is in any tournament is really tough to come back and get in that 3rd and 4th. And man, he battled, he came back, he refocused and man, he had one of the best tournaments all season after that first round match, and it was exciting to watch. So he did a great job. And then 132, Dylan Sloan, started off with a pin first round, then, being the 4 seed, runs into the 1 seed for the semis. Another Omi. There's about 4 of them on the team, I believe. So
it's like their Rikens, right, for wrestling?
Yes, exactly. Yep. And so, tough semi match, but again, bounces back and gets in for 3rd and 4th, ends up beating a kid from Sioux Falls, Lincoln, who he lost to earlier in the season, and comes out with in 3rd place with a 7-0 victory over him. So he wrestled a really good match in that 3rd and 4th place round. And then at 195, Peyton Eustace, we knew that first round that he had, it was going to be real important. It was a kid that he was beaten earlier in the year and then ended up getting thrown and pinned. And so we knew that he had a good chance of beating that kid. And that kid was throwing everything at him, but he wrestled smart, stayed in good position, didn't force anything, got the takedown he needed, ends up winning that first round match. And then, that puts him up against the number 1 seed as well from Harrisburg. We knew that was going to be a tough one. So then, on the backside, gets a big win and then gets in for 3rd and 4th, ends up coming out 4th place at 195. And I mean, he wrestled well against the kid, tough kid from Beersford. And I think he wrestled a good match. Just kind of sometimes with him, Peyton just gets outsized at times, so that's the only thing. But otherwise, he wrestles really smart. And then Edley gets 4th place. He was he had a full bracket 9-man, and he wrestled well his first match, and then he actually, one of the best matches I've seen him wrestle all year was against Sioux Falls, Washington, Abe Myers. This guy, I mean, he is put together. The number 2 ranked kid in the state, got pinned by him earlier in the year, takes him into the 3rd period, close match. I mean, really pushing the pace. So he wrestled a really good match. Ends up losing, then again on the backside, wrestling Brandon Valley, who we haven't seen this year. Starts off a little slow, but man, he picks up the pace and gets a pin, and that puts him in for 3rd and 4th. Kind of dinged up his knee a little bit, and so when he was wrestling for 3rd and 4th, he wasn't really on full throttle. Wrestles Beersford kid, and honestly, I think if Edley's 100%, I really think he's going to be able to beat that kid. So it's just one of those things. But he punched his ticket. He he got in that podium, and he's going to state. So I mean, those guys, they had really good tournaments. Oh, and and the other thing too is I didn't say is Damian Janish did end up getting 3rd place. So again, that was a big win for him. So.
And Coach, the ESD girls tournament was just had, and again, when I talk to you about wrestling, I just like to kind of give you open-ended because you just know what to talk about and when to talk about it. So go ahead and turn it over to you, the ESD girls tournament.
Yeah, definitely. So it was a new tournament this year, and it's nice for the girls to have those opportunities and to have those tournaments for them. Again, I'm not trying to make it like one of those comparison things, but like, because the boys used to have an ESD tournament back a while ago now, and it used to be like a knockout, drag out, tough tournament. So that's always the one thing with some of these end of the year tournaments. In ESD, honestly, it's a tough conference. There's a lot of good wrestlers, and that's on the girls' side, And so like when you have those opportunities, you want to take them. Obviously, you kind of want to like be aware of, sometimes as far as like, health and how everyone's doing and things like that, but we were good to go. The girls, they were pumped. They wanted to take on that opportunity to, make all conference. It was a good tournament. We got to see some of we got some matches that we needed to see. So Jacqueline Kite, she ends up placing 4th place. She had a really good tournament. She ended up beating a girl from Harrisburg who she lost to earlier in the year, and so like that's a huge confidence builder for her. Even one of the losses that she ended up taking, she came out of it with her head up because she knew that she was wrestling well. She just kind of made a couple mistakes, and she's been really working hard at making some adjustments to her style just to kind of, when you get older and you're wrestling some of these girls, she's in 8th grade, and some of these girls who are, freshmen on up, it's an adjustment, and so the way you kind of wrestle in high school, you kind of have to adjust to some of those situations. And I think she is working hard to do that. It's just going to take some time, and I think we saw some really good things at ESD tournament for her leading into state. Then Nevaeh Leonard, she went in as the number 1 seed, and she wins the tournament. As a lone senior on the girls' side, again, I can't say enough how much of a role model she is, for her teammates and all the girls that are coming up, through this program. She had a tough finals match with Lewis from Pierre. And, even though, Lewis was pushing the pace, Nevaeh was able to stay in good position, wrestled smart, got the points she needed, and then was able to come out with that victory. So, but going into state, having that extra win over her helps out a lot, continues to work on that confidence for Nevaeh. And then, with some of the other matches that she had prior to that in Harrisburg, she's going to be set up really nice in that state tournament, hopefully looking at that number 1 seed.
Well, I'll turn a question over to Coach Tyler Schuring, but while you're waiting, I'm going to ask you about all the information about state, what people need to know, where, when, and how they can watch and stuff like that. So start thinking, Coach Riley Smith. Coach Tyler Schuring, I always want to ask the assistant coaches this question because while head coaches, obviously they're really involved, as are assistant coaches, with the actual action. Assistant coaches are where you get the dirt on the team of, hey, how are they feeling? Where's their attitude at? What was the team's attitude going up to Brandon?
I think going in, we really have a young, kind of inexperienced varsity team this year. And, going in, Coach Smith talked about, that first round, it was a little bit of shell shock. We got them, got them motivated. And, overall, the coaching staff was very impressed with the way that they wrestled today. We had all 11 kids that we took up there wrestling through the final round. We scored more points today in regions than we scored in a number of years. It was a really good performance by, an inexperienced Buck team. They did turn it around. They wrestled well, and I think there was a little frustration from some of them, knowing that their season may have ended, but at the same time, they all knew that they wrestled a really good tournament. And I think overall the attitude for the team was positive.
All right, thank you, Coach Tyler Schuring. To go back to Coach Riley Smith. Coach, before I ask you about that state tournament information as a spectator, if you want to watch and stuff like that, you're kind of going down the last stretch with this team. Obviously, any players or wrestlers that you want to shout out, especially maybe some seniors?
Yeah, so this year, we had, on the Buck side, we had our lone senior, Asa Swenson. He joined late. He was a sophomore, first-year wrestler. And when you join a little bit later and maybe not have as much experience, it's not always easy to join. It's a little tough to do. But, man, I got to give him credit. He is by far one of the hardest workers in our room. He leads by example. He motivates. He's trying to push his teammates to always get better. He's asking questions from the beginning, from the first day of practice when he was a sophomore to the last practice. to region tournament, the amount of progress he's made and what he's honestly done for this team. I think I just want to give him a shout out because he's done so well with that. And he may not have made the podium today in the top 4, but he ended up getting 5th place. He wins his last match as a senior. That's a big deal. And so, like I said, he's done a lot of good for our team. One of those things where it's kind of sometimes behind the scenes and stuff like that I don't think people always get to see. And so I think, we're definitely going to miss him next year. So, yeah.
All right, Coach, and if we want to watch that state tournament, I guess I should just say, what's next for Yankton Wrestling in general? How do we watch all that information?
Yeah, so the boys and the girls, they're going to have the schedule set up where, it's going to start at 9 a.m. on Thursday, and then it'll be 9 a.m. on Friday. There's going to be a few sessions. We'll get that information also put out on the Yankton High School Facebook page, and all the social media sites there are. We'll get the schedule set up at 9 a.m. Thursday, Friday for the individual tournament. It's in Rapid City this year. We get to wrestle in the Monument for the first time, so that's pretty exciting. I think it's going to be really nice. It's a long drive, but I really like going to Rapid. They're very hospitable, welcoming to wrestling.
That building is so new that anyone that ever says we get to do this for the first time, it's pretty much the first time ever anywhere.
It's great. It's great. I'm really excited. It's going to be a really good experience for all of our wrestlers. And then, we'll post some things as far as where to watch it. Last year we went through South Dakota Public Broadcasting with that. The one thing that's kind of up in the air as far as whether they're going to use track wrestling this year, which sometimes you have to have a subscription for. Last year when they used South Dakota Public Broadcast, it was free. I really hope that they continue to go with the option that's going to get the most viewership as far as, because we have fans that aren't able to make it. And so we want to make sure that, that's an option for them and, not always have to worry about paying for subscriptions. So,
well, between you two coaches, and anyone that you, maybe a parent, someone, if they message me to post something on our socials, results at least, something like that, we're more than happy to post that as well, because I want to keep track of it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll make sure we get those things sent out, and then that way everything is updated on a day-to-day basis.
Well, coaches, it's not over yet, so I'm not going to say congratulations on the season, but congratulations to where everyone's at right now. Good luck to Yankton Wrestling. Thanks for joining us.
All right, thanks very much.
All right, let's Coach Riley Smith and Coach Tyler Shearing joining us. And we'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab in Yankton has a newer research-based mindset when it comes to treating musculoskeletal aches and pains. We take the time to figure out where the pain is coming from and educate our patients on what they can do to improve their functional range of motion. We administer a range of treatments and preventative approaches that are customized to each individual patient and their health goals. Visit us on our website at swatchiropracticandrehab.com. When you need to feel better, visit SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab out by the lake on West Highway 52.
It's time for a new kind of credit card. One that's with you where you are, wherever life leads. The Evergreen Credit Card by FNBO earns you unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase, every day, every step of the way. For important information and limitations regarding the rewards program, visit fnbo.com/evergreen for complete details. From the great big small bank, ever ready for you to earn more so you can do more. Only with Evergreen by FNBO. Learn more today at fnbo.com/evergreen.
And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Bryce Ladwick alongside Braden Butler here this morning. Thanks to all the coaches joining us on the Pizza Ranch phone line. And it was a good show, Braden. I'm glad that we got to catch up with the four main sports of the winter, and obviously post-game coach interviews. But that's when they're fresh and they have all their opinions out there. And I always like when they catch up with us for the post game. Thanks to Justin Olson joining us on the Pizza Ranch phone line. He is at the Haas tournament for basketball over at the Summit Activity Center. We saw them getting ready for that last night. It's a big deal in Yankton. I'll have to head over there myself at some point today. Bring little Kirby. Brady, she's just going to play basketball.
Oh, Kirby's going to be. Is she an up and coming gazelle? Is she going to be on the team in 13, 14 years. I forget how young she is still.
Sooner the better. I'm trying to get her a tryout with Coach Trey Queer. He says she's a little young yet. She's 2 years old.
Well, she's got to get to at least 3.
Yeah, she has to learn to run more than 100 feet without falling.
I've seen her run. She's fast. She's not very good at staying on her feet yet. She'll get there, but the feet can move, so she could go on
someday. Hey, Braden, usually we have the YHS Nation that you pre-produce for us, but since you're in the studio today, why don't you run us through the Yankton High School schedule?
Yeah. So for YHS Nation, we usually take a look at the activities and events going on around Yankton High School for the coming week. In the fall, we did it before pregame for football, and now we're doing it kind of after Coach's Corner, wherever we can really get it in, just to kind of look around what's going on around Yankton High School. So let's just start Monday, February 20th. There's nothing going on. President's Day, no school, no activities. Do not go to school on Monday. There will be nobody there. So just don't go.
Just don't go to school. I'm just joking.
I am not advocating for that. You should go to school the rest of the days of the week.
My name is Braden Butler.
Look, not going to school can get you in bad places. That's all I'm going to say. Start now. Tuesday, February 21st, activities are starting next week. Varsity basketball, boys and girls play Sioux Falls, Washington. The Gazelles will be in Yankton to play Sioux Falls, Washington. The boys will play in Sioux Falls. Both those games tip off at 7 p.m. Coverage for the Bucks game on KYNT and KYN-TV beginning at 6:30. And the guy across the table from me, Bryce Ladwig, will be on the call for that one. Nothing is scheduled on Wednesday night, so we'll jump ahead to Thursday, February 23rd. Day 1 of the wrestling varsity state tournament for the boys and girls will be in Rapid City. Matches start at 10 a.m. Friday, February 24th, day 2 of that wrestling state tournament. It's a 3-day event, so it happens on Saturday as well. 10 a.m. all 3 days it will be starting. Also on Friday, February 24th, varsity basketball doubleheader, boys and girls against Spearfish in Yankton at 6 p.m. Gazelles will play first, Bucks to follow. Pre-game on KYNT and KYN-TV at 5:30. Bryce Ladwig once again on the call. Saturday, February 25th, varsity basketball boys and girls doubleheader, this time against Sturgis as they come out east here in Yankton. First game at 12:30 p.m., pre-game at 12 p.m. noon. Bryce Ladwig on the call. I will not be on camera for that one, though, because I have some other things going on Saturday, so unfortunately I don't get to see the regular season finale for the Bucks and Gazelles, but it's been a great season so far. And next Sunday, February 26th, nothing is on the schedule for that. So that's your look at YHS activities and events going on next week. Be sure to get out there, support Yankton High School at some of these events.
Camera operation. You're going to be missing 2 games for the Bucks, right? You're going to miss the regular season finale and then the SODAC.
I do have the SODAC as well.
Our own Josh Bolter making his return behind the camera.
So everybody can see how much better he is than me and then want me off the camera and then I get fired.
No, he'll probably forget how to set up everything by the time it happens. It's been a while for Josh behind the camera, yeah.
It's been a while for him, yeah. It would be in last winter, right? Because static cameras for baseball, so it would have been playoffs last year for the Bucks.
And then old Swatomatic himself will be taking over a camera for the SODAC 16. Jim Sawatsky.
Jim Sawatsky, top 5 human being I've ever met all time. I hope he's listening so he knows that because he is just the man.
He does listen, so Swatomatic, we love you. And thanks for always stepping in. But thanks for going over the YHS Nation, Braden, and thanks for joining us here on the show today. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been really nice to step in, talk to you a little bit. Obviously, I know you do more coverage per se than I do just because you're talking about the game, so it's more in your mind and fresh. But we've both been to every Bucks and Gazelles game so far for basketball and just, working on sports report and stuff as well, picking up some stuff about gymnastics and wrestling. So it's always nice to sit down and talk about Yankton High School athletics and what they're doing in the winter months.
And those that may not know Braden Butler as well yet, did a lot of soccer for us, and you'll continue to do that. Play-by-play for soccer. You were kind of on color in the first part. You and Josh kind of switched it around, but we'll be having you in the booth for soccer again. Really looking forward to that. Run all of our camera operations. We're going to have you more involved with football coming this next season. You also help with the sports reporting for KYNT, and Braden Butler is our associate sports producer at KYNT and KYN-TV, and quite literally my right-hand man. So always appreciate your help, Braden. And again, thanks for joining us this morning.
I'm running out of fingers to count how many things I apparently do around here. So I appreciate that.
There you go. Well, -1 now for that comment.
I'm sorry. I
need reparation for that comment now.
I take it back. I'm sorry.
No, for Braden Butler, I'm Bryce Ladwig. This has been the Coach's Corner. Have a great rest of your morning.
KYNT Yankton FM